And Judith came along, a heroine, and she says, "This really makes me mad. You're giving God 5 days? You're giving God 5 days to do a miracle. How dare you?" She was incensed. And so she takes her handmaiden, and she goes to Holofernes, and she basically is seducing him, and he takes her to this big festive party then. And at that party, she keeps giving him wine, and more wine, and more wine, and more cheese with that wine. I always used to say to my students, "I don't have any cheese for your wine." But so she got him drunk, and then he falls asleep. And when he falls asleep, and he was having those pleasant slumber dreams about conquering the Jews and so forth, all those nice little dreams that the Assyrians or the Babylonians were having. She cut off his head. Which happens. Happens a lot, actually, in history, more than you know. But anyway, she takes the head and brings it back to Bethulia and shows everybody. And then the Assyrians find Holofernes without his head the next day, and they go into a panic and run. And they take off. So they were not able to take the city. Unfortunately, later on in history, the Babylonian captivity does come. Nebuchadnezzar does end up taking the city. But anyway, she is a heroine, and her story is often told during Hanukkah. You're wondering where I was going with this, I bet. Now you know. And so a lot of times wine is offered here. This is non-alcoholic. This is just spiced cider, in case you're wondering. And, fried cheese. Why fried cheese? Because it's about the oil. The oil is important here. Okay, so they fry the cheese. You don't just set a hunk of mozzarella out there on a plate. You fry it. All right, so some other traditions here. A gift each night of Hanukkah. Why? Because the Christians did that. They gave their kids a lot of gifts. And the Jewish kids were feeling pretty bad because they're not getting anything. Kind of like the letter Nun, they were also getting none in their game. Okay? So they invented this. It was an invented thing. But 8 days of Hanukkah, and I know when we used to do that, we used to save like the best gift for the last day, for the 8th day. And then our son Max would get to go out and get that big gift, but he'd get to pick which one of the gifts, he'd get to open each night after we'd say the blessings and like the menorahs. So another tradition. So that's why I have the wine, the gifts, the ornaments, the geld, the dreidels. It's a lot of traditions. It's a fun time. The singing of songs, Jewish dancing, anything that's festive to celebrate this great miracle that God gave us at Hanukkah. Now, let's see. I think there might have been one more. This might be it here. So on the dreidel itself, there are 4 different Hebrew letters. You've got the Nun, you've got the Gimel, you've got the Hey, you've got the Shin and the Pei. If you get the Gimel, you get to get everything that's in the pot. Okay? If you get the Nun, you don't get anything. Okay? For the Nun, you don't get anything. I would say Nun for none. And if you get the Hey, then you get to take half of the pot. And if you get the Shin, then you have to put one into the pot. Now, literally, these 4 letters are an acrostic for a great miracle happened there. And so if you look at that Shin there, you say that would be a great miracle happened there. But if you're in Israel, you wouldn't say a great miracle happened there, you'd say a great miracle happened here. And so they use the Nun, the Gimel, the Hey, and the Pei. Okay? So that would say a great miracle happened here. So a little bit of interest there. And that's the dreidel game. Another interesting thing is the gematria. Every letter in Hebrew has a numerical code with it. It is God's language, and it is a perfect language because when you look at the meaning, you can see a deeper meaning by the numerical code of His words, and also by the synectic word, the relation of the words to each other. So very interesting, very interesting. So that's that. I think that might be it now. If those letters add up to 358, well, I'm trying to get this to move, and they still add up to 358, and they still do, and yes, that was 358, and means Mashiach or Messiah, and I guess that's all, folks. Okay, so right now we're going to light the menorah. We won't all dance the hora, but we'll light the menorah. Okay, so let's see. Who has never lit the menorah before? Jeremiah, come on up. And I can take two more. Selena. Who else has not lit the? AJ? No? We have room for one more. Linda. So I am going to light the shamash. Okay, so what you're going to do, each of you will take the shamash, you'll pull it out of the holder, and then you'll light this one first. So Jeremiah, you'll light this one. Selena, you'll light this one. And Linda, you'll light this one over here. Okay? And we go this direction because they get their light from the shamash. Unlike some people say, you go all the way to the end and light forward. It does this one next because it's next to the line on the right side. So, Jeremiah, I'm going to go ahead and sing the blessing here as you are doing that. So go ahead and remove the shamash, and you can light it now. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehanlik mishneh Hanukkah. And I'll just put this one on here too so you can see what that will look like. And the best time to buy your Hanukkah is the after Christmas sales at Target. Saying. Okay. All right. Isn't that beautiful? And so then at sundown, which always starts the next day, we will light the fourth candle on the Hanukkah. Place it in the window so the world can see. We share the light